Hey Moon Magic Super Souls, welcome to today's readings. We are asking what's happening for you in November. I cannot believe we are in November already. It has been an extraordinary year, I think, with a lot happening for most people I know actually. So what is happening for you in November? Welcome back. This is the card for pile one. Welcome back anyone who's a part of this beautiful community we're building, and welcome to anyone new. And if you're brand new to tarot, I'm going to draw 3 cards and also 3 runes and a charm for each as well, to kind of just assist in guiding you in, really, I suppose. It's like, you know, you tuning in with your intuition to see which of the readings, and sometimes it's more than one, will be really singing to you. So let's draw your cards. I am seeing this card already for pile 2, and actually this one for pile 3. Okay. So pile 1, you have the card, I believe this is the card of the arrow, but let's hold it up for you so you can see this. It's card number 22. Pile 2. This is card number 30. Now, I'm not sure which of the cards it is, but we will explore that when we get into the reading. This is card number 30. Ah, yes, it's smoke signals, actually, I believe. Smoke signals. Just tuning in with that. I haven't used this pack for a little while. They're beautiful, beautiful cards. And then pile number 3, this is sturgeon. And this is the card number 9. Okay, so let us draw a rune and a charm as well. Okay, pile 1, you have the rune of defense. This is Awaz, and you also have a beautiful moon. Very particular looking moon. Let me just hold that up so you can, I think the camera will focus on that, I hope. Yeah. Okay, then we have yes. Okay, your charm, you have an anchor. Hold that to you. And then we also have the rune of fertility. This is Ingas. Let's put that there. Oops. And then lastly for pile 3, we have, we have the Tree of Life. Beautiful. And you also have Kano, the rune of openings. Okay, so I'm going to put this in place now. Beautiful souls, I'm going to leave the video running for just a few moments, and then I will see you in the readings. Trust your intuition. If more than one is speaking to you, then go with it, because a lot's happening, well, certainly in most people's worlds that I know of, and so there may be more than one area of your world that Spirit is wishing to speak to you about. But yeah, let's find out what is happening in November for you. Tons of love, and I'll see you in the readings in just a moment. Hey pile 1, welcome to your reading. What is happening for you in November? Now, the arrow card is interesting because it actually has a lot of different meanings. It can mean that you will be taking very clear, decisive action. With the rune of defense, Awaz, this is a really interesting combination, because with the arrow card, if you're going to take decisive, clear action, it's also about setting your sights on your target and anticipating anything that might be in the way. So you have a clear and straight pathway for your arrow, so it's not hindered. The rune of defense actually also speaks about obstacles being in your path and kind of like developing an aversion to certain things, but also heightening your intuition. In fact, that's actually what's really coming through here right now. Your first sort of channeled message of November is to do with navigating intuitively, foreseeing obstacles ahead of time, and therefore being able to maintain your course, set your target, have your goal in mind. It may be that you're being advised to have some very clear forward thinking. This rune also says, if an obstacle appears in your way, consider that it may be providential, because it may slightly change your course. I think we obviously need to draw loads more cards, but this is very interesting. This combination particularly is a very, very, very fascinating collaboration of energy. And then we have this beautiful moon. I do find this charm absolutely stunning. It's not just a moon. It's like a moon. I almost feel like it has a lion's mane on it here, with these beautiful leaves here. What are we going to be shown? So I'm going to draw a card for you from the main tarot. Yeah, King of Swords. Yes, I am seeing this need for really clear thinking, almost approaching November quite logically, actually, from quite a logical place rather than an emotional place. It's that combination of logic and intuition. Intuition is navigating with your senses are heightened. King of Swords energy is saying, I'd say logic focused. That's the word I'm looking for, focused. So you know where you're aiming to go. Do you know, I'm really fascinated that even without thinking, I've put the King of Swords over here. I've kind of put him here as an end goal, and it just felt right to do so. It felt like that's where he belongs. So this is what I'm feeling like. There's a pathway to get to an end goal. Let's draw some more cards for you. Let's draw some oracle cards first. I'm seeing these two for you, and a couple more as well. I will put the names, it's this one, I will put the names of the cards in the description box and the pinned comment for you as well, beautiful souls, in case you are interested in any of them. And this one. Okay, so we have, she rides with wild spirit unbroken. Okay, let's place this down here. Interesting, that feels like the right positioning too as well. We have creation and soulmate and battle ready. This is very, very interesting. Now we're going to get all our cards here in the top row. That's going to be a bit of a squeeze. I think these might need to come down here. Okay, battle ready. What is this about? I'm actually going to, no, we're going to sit this here. Let's really tune into what we are seeing here for you, pile one. Okay. I'm seeing you, it's like having an end goal in sight here. And with the rune of defense as well. How interesting. Look at this battle ready card. This figure down here has an arrow on her forehead, her third eye, suggesting, I feel, that you again are going to need to be really keep a really clear head and a really clear focus, and yet somehow navigate with heightened awareness. Crows fly between the worlds. Crows see. I mean, this figure here, look at her eyes. She's a seer. Both of these women are seers, or crow. We have a crow woman here. Okay. I think this is going to be a very extraordinarily interesting month for you. So we have soulmate, and what do we have again here in this hand? We have an eye, we're seeing vision. And the card of creation. I think you have the capacity this month to get to an end goal. And it's got a bigger, actually got a huge flavour to it. Now we are now coming out of, as we're in November, coming out of eclipse season, which has been probably one of the most radically intense eclipse seasons that I recall, actually, in terms of my own. I guess we're all at different ages and stages of our spiritual awareness, and the more we notice and become aware, the more we see into things in different ways. But this is more than just getting to an end goal. In one way, I think you do, but you're liberated from something. She rides with wild spirit unbroken. There's something you have been doing battle with. And I feel like, gosh, there's more than one message coming through. So let me just really sit and listen to what's arriving. I feel, pile one, you've been doing battle with something. And I think it's been a bit of a mix. So for some of you, the battle has been, there have been external things going on. And for others, it's an internal battle, and it may have been a bit of both. You might have had events showing up that have almost, I want to say, reinstated an internal battle, a dilemma maybe even for some of you. What I'm seeing in November is that gets sorted. You're free from it. You're liberated from it. Because I think it's knocked you off balance. Instead of the arrow being pure and straight and clear, somehow something in your pathway caused you to either falter or not be able to continue with something. Very distinct energy. There's a real big element in this reading of seeing the truth of something as well, which is a really interesting energy. I'm going to draw from the Akashic Tarot, I think, actually, for you. See what we're shown here. Because the eclipse season is a very karmic energy. So what's been going on for my pile one? So we have the Ark of the Covenant, right? Okay, so this is really, really clear. What this card actually says is that you have, say, lived up to, you've processed something karmically. Now, whatever knocked you off balance, whatever you've been doing battle with, and you may still feel like you're a little bit in the battlefield, you may already feel like you're moving through and beyond it. It may still be clinging a little bit to you, but I feel you are more looking forward than looking back. I think you're more anticipating the future than you are dwelling in where you've come from or what has actually been going on. I think a turning point has been achieved. Okay, clear-cut turning point of some sort. What this reading is telling us is that whatever you've been doing battle with, it's actually been of quite epic proportions. It may even go back to elements, whatever, there'll be an actual circumstance and an actual situation that you have literally been reliving. But I think simultaneously you've been processing generational trauma and potentially past lives as well. Now, the Ark of the Covenant tells us that you have navigated this. This is Spirit's way of saying to you, way to go. You've done it. You're awesome. You've now navigated this battleground. You've achieved the outcome. And it's now time to be really resolute about where you want to go next. To look ahead, not back. okay, to line up your arrow. There's a beautiful story in one of the Jamie Sam's books. Jamie Sam's is one of my favourite authors. I have some of her cards, and I'm very passionate. Jamie Sam's moon, she writes about the moon, and I'm very passionate about the moon. But there's a really beautiful story in one of her books, and I'm afraid I can't remember which book it is, but she speaks about a hunter. I think some youngsters are asking the hunter, you know, how he manages to always kind of hit his mark, and when an animal was killed for food, of course, and indeed no part of an animal was ever not used. You know, if life was taken in native ways, it was taken with reverence and with honour and with gratitude and appreciation, with an understanding of, just an understanding that, you know, we are all related, and everyone and everything has its place and its role. But the children, these youngsters, asked this hunter, how do you never miss effectively, and how do you achieve this? And he said, it was like the preparation. Effectively, what he described was a method of prayer, really, where he blessed his arrows, every arrow that he made, even in the making of it. Every part of the arrow was made with prayer, with reverence, that it would serve its purpose, be in service, and would hit its mark swiftly, cleanly, and so the whole essence of the arrow was from the very beginning of its creation, was embodied with prayer, with guidance, with that ability to see the truth of the world. I think you are experiencing, Pile 1, a major shift in your consciousness, because you have done battle with something that I think has been pretty significant, and a real bed of thorns you've had to navigate. Probably the eclipse season has raised this. I think for some of you, yeah, as I said, I think it could go back to past lives, to generational trauma, your existing life, probably an amalgamation of lots of different things. You've had to find the courage and yet hold your intuition. Again, the moon, the energy of the moon, and we have this almost like a lion's mane. You've had to step up. You've had to be courageous in the face of something here. And it's been a pretty tough call, I think, to hold your spiritual pathway in light of circumstances. But you have done so, and it's as if you have, through this experience, in recent times, and I do think it may still be clinging a little, you've seen the truth of things, and you are coming through and out of this having processed something that I believe will actually not only assist your own world, but will assist many, because I think many souls, you're probably either an indigo child or you're an old soul. You know, you've come here to do this level of work, and you've achieved it. This is all about living up to your karmic service, really. Now, November is a month to set your sights on the pathway ahead, and to understand that this is now done, actually. Okay, a very clear message. This is done, and it is now about looking ahead with prayer, aiming that arrow to be good and true. I'm going to draw from a tarot pack now and see what we are shown. Let's draw your tarot cards. May we have information about November. I'm curious as to how this is going to emerge in real terms for you. Okay, so we have the 5 of Swords. I'm seeing this card here for you. The Lovers. How interesting, with the Soulmate card as well. And the Daughter of Cups. Oh, this is beautiful. This is really, really beautiful. Goodness me. Right. Pile 1. Yeah, you've overcome something, and it is now time to set your sights, as we have said. But this is literally, you've severed something here. You've closed something. It's done. It's done. It's dusted. Never to be returned to again. I really had a sense of saying, this is over now. You've upheld your karmic duty, responsibility, whatever you came here. Now it's time for you to set your sights, I'm going to say, on love, okay? Now I'm voicing this in quite a broad term, but with the Lovers and the Daughter of Cups and Soulmate, I feel like this, whatever took place, it blocked you from being able to fully embrace all aspects of your life through the eyes of love. I think it really tangled you in a bit of a knot, can of worms. You're now free to create. You're now free to set your arrow in the direction you wish to go and be resolute. You know, look how resolute he is. Look how, not stern as such, but you know, he's resolute. Our King of Swords here. She rides with wild spirit unbroken. I mentioned the word truth earlier. I feel like you now walk in truth. You walk in the light. You walk in truth. I think you've always walked in the light, but this has been a struggle. You're free to create your life in love. And November is a magnificent turning point for you. This is a very big affirmation that this is over. You don't have to do battle anymore. You've upheld your karmic duty, responsibility. It's interesting words, duty, responsibility, obligation, but it's like there was a contract to fulfill, that you needed to step into something, and you have stepped into it. It is now time to move ahead. Now, if in any way this scenario isolated you from people, or you've done battle because you've, I don't know, stepped up and been wholeheartedly you in the face of people who would have, or someone who would have opposed light, freedom, you're now free to fly. And what is interesting is this Soulmate and Lovers. I think I'm going to draw more clarifying cards for you here, because, and Daughter of Cups, I feel as though there is love arriving in your world. If you've been doing battle within an existing relationship, I think that battle is now over. You've stood your ground, you've upheld something, and the relationship has either ended and you'll move on to a new one, or this relationship will take on a new lease of life. If you're single and you just haven't had time for a relationship because you've been doing battle, or you've had some relational issues historically that have left you feeling as though you couldn't proceed, now you can. Something new can emerge, and I feel like you can be wholeheartedly you. If you've never felt that you could be you in a relationship, maybe you have genuinely amazing, well, I think you do have gifts. We're seeing this heightened intuition, your own psychic gifts. Perhaps you didn't feel you could be seen within a relationship. You couldn't share those gifts. You couldn't fully be you. Well, now you can. And it may well be that you are about to meet someone who honours those gifts, who honours who you are. You can be you. Let us just draw a few more cards. I think what we'll do is, I'm going to use another tarot pack here, just to see what we're shown. May we ask for a little bit more information? Okay, we have your King of Wands showing up for my beautiful pile one. So first of all, you have King of Wands. Look at the lion's mane, which I feel we had on the moon here. And the King of Wands. I love that we have the King of Swords and the King of Wands here. The King of Wands on his t-shirt here has this beautiful lizard entering the dream time. Now this is really interesting. Going back to the start of the reading. The rune of defense, avertive powers. You have the ability now to see ahead of time, to use your intuition to navigate It's like entering the dream time so that you can navigate with awareness to achieve what you wish. Yeah, we have the Hanged Man. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. There's a key here. I sort of feel like I'm always wanting to say the plot thickens, really. I'm going to need to draw more cards. But there is a key here. This is really taking me into such interesting territory. So we're going to draw more cards for you, pile one, because everything here has been about something being over and you setting your sights on what you want. Now we're being given more detailed information, I think, about how this is going to emerge. This is about something you really do want that I think almost got shelved or waylaid or bypassed from because the arrow got knocked off target because of this doing battle. Now, the Hanged Man, look at all the runes that sit beneath this person. So signs, signals, synchronicities. Signs are all around you. You're definitely being guided. Pay attention to your dreams. You're going to be guided to, and a key will be given to you that opens a doorway. So you're going to be guided, the signs will be shown. I suspect something is going to be offered to you. Something is going to arrive. And you may even have a little bit of a momentary wobble where you question, sort of almost question your own judgment is where I'm going with this, which is quite interesting. I don't mean negatively specifically, but I think if you've been doing battle over something, there's a process to shift away from that energy of high alert, where we don't quite trust what we see or we don't see things clearly. With the Five of Pentacles, she's not looking up. This reading is also saying, Spirit is saying to you, you have every ability to see really clearly now. You've learned. Something really fabulous and new is coming into your world. A new chapter. A new chapter where you can be you. And I think November is the month when it arrives. But there's a process of letting go of this fully so that you're available. I want to say available to receive it. It's almost as if you may hesitate when the key and the doorway are in front of you, perhaps for fear of making the wrong choice, or there's a residue of the battleground around you. Let's draw more cards. May we have clarification really about how this is emerging or what this key is about. What is this doorway here? We have the Ten of Swords, so we're seeing you walk away. And we have the Queen of Wands. How interesting. Another Emperor. I say another Emperor. Do you know, isn't that interesting? I've said another Emperor, and it's not that you have an Emperor, but I'm connecting to the King of Wands as being an Emperor. So Ten of Swords, Queen of Wands. The fact that you have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. I mean, your creative capacity, and with the Emperor, excuse me, energy to be in charge of your world is phenomenal now. November for you, beautiful pile one, is a rising. What we're being shown is it's not specifically like an opportunity being given to you. The opportunity is the laying to rest of the battle. And stepping into a space where with very clear intention, this card came first, very clear intention, you focus on what you want and then follow the signs, trust your intuition, navigate the world. Because I just think there is a relational energy potentially here, but it could be your relationship to a creative project. It could also be your relationship to another person. But ultimately, you're going to rise. The key isn't actually someone bringing something to you. The key is your own capacity to aim that arrow true. And with every aspect of what you're doing, if you're holding it in prayer, with that good intent, but clear intent, it is as if the universe will literally open those doors for you, show you the signs. And the key is the looking forwards, not looking back. It's done and dusted. This is really being affirmed. It's done, dusted. You've been there, bought the t-shirt. You've upheld that karmic, whatever it was, the karmic arrangement that needed to be attended to. You've done it. You've stood up in something, whatever that was. You've done battle with something. You've done it. This is so loud and clear. Now you are free to move forwards. This is your final card. And look, what do we have? The card of success. Success, public acclaim, being seen, being visible, taking an ownership of who you are. This is that back to you being you. Right. Pile 1. November is a month that promises major success for you. In whatever area of your life you choose to create it. This is a powerful reading of affirmation for you. I think you've had to step up and find the courage to handle something, and you've done battle and you've done it. It had massive karmic implications. You've upheld that in every way. Spirit is honouring you. And now, put it behind you. Get focused. Do not dwell in battle at all. Look ahead, not behind you. Do not dwell on it. It is time for you to create the world you wish to create for yourself and be the master of your own destiny. And the energy this month for November supports you wholeheartedly, 1000%. You will see what you need to see. You will be shown the signs. What you need to do, your part in this, is to consciously look ahead, not back. If you find yourself being pulled into something, bring yourself back into that space of stillness. Hold the light. It is over, whatever that was. You are now free to be you. Be you. Hold your focus, hold your intent, embrace everything that you desire, and then navigate through intuition. Listen to your dreams. I'm seeing a massive turnaround for you here. From a place where it's been really, really tough to a place where you are flying in the spotlight, being you. Pile 1, this is your reading. I'm so glad I followed this through. Yeah, you are really being honoured for what you have been navigating, but it's done, dusted, it's over. My beautiful souls, I am sending you so much love and so much respect. Pile 1, if this is resonating with you, let us know in the comments. Thank you for being a part of this amazing community. Thank you for liking, sharing, subscribing, and thank you all of you who give back through the super thanks. And if you're interested in any of the other things I do, I have my All Zodiac Sign readings over on Patreon. You can check in on those. It's a different site. It works on the basis of donations, and I do tutorials over there teaching how to read the cards and the runes. I do tons of stuff actually, so I will put all the links into the description box and also the pinned comment as well. Pile 1, step up, super souls. Don't look back, look ahead. Tons of love to you. I'm just sending you the biggest hug. I've got such, if you could see me, I look like a Cheshire cat. I've got a smile on my face. Hey Pile 2, welcome to your reading. Now you have the card of smoke signals. That was what was really coming through to me, smoke signals. I'm seeing you making somebody aware of something, communicating. We also have the anchor here and the rune of fertility. Fertility sometimes suggests that we have to tie up loose ends. There are communications going on here. Maybe you're needing to tie something up, bring it to a close in order to then bring in the new. I mean, this is a fruit-bearing rune. I think, my beautiful Pile 2, we should dive straight into your cards. What is happening for my lovely Pile 2s in November? So we have, first of all, wow, so 3 of Swords. This is interesting. This feels like a completion card. Okay, so something coming to an end. Yeah, endings. Tying up loose ends in order to be free to move on with something. Really finding my focus is drawn to this sweat lodge here. Looks like a sacred sweat lodge just down here behind this rock. But this person is visible, sending out a signal. What are we saying here? Let's draw oracle cards for you and see what else we're shown. And that card definitely is showing for you. Do you know, I feel like there might be 3 for you in this pack. I'm going to go with this. There's your card from this pack. Lovely pile 2s. What do we have for you? What are we shown? I am seeing, actually, it's that one. Okay. So, first of all, we have White Mantra Mother protects. Okay. And then we have grief. Oh, my goodness me, my beautiful souls. Something is coming to an end, and I feel you're in a space of grieving. Okay, we have discovery. Oh, this is beautiful. You have grief again. Oh, my goodness me. My beautiful souls. My beautiful souls. Oh, you are grieving. Something has come to its completion and you are grieving. You are moving on. This is a period of time. We'll be drawing lots more cards for you to look at the entire month of November. But I am seeing, yes, something has come to an end. Now, whether you have lost somebody from this physical plane, or a pet, or an animal, or indeed a relationship has broken down, I can see that this loss has left you kind of broken-hearted. But what I'm also seeing is there's guilt around. Now, guilt is an interesting emotion because it's actually a natural part of grieving. You know, let's say you hypothetically ended a relationship and you're kind of gutted that it didn't work out, but you knew it was the right thing to do, but you feel guilty because you're worried about the person that you've said no to. Or indeed, when someone passes away, it's just such a natural part of the grieving process that we reminisce over the things we would have done differently, or we feel guilty, we didn't give them as much time as we would have wanted, or it's just a natural part of the process. This card, though, is asking you to let go of that guilt. Beautiful souls, if anybody of you have lost somebody and you are struggling with bereavement, I will just voice this. So I was a counsellor, a psychotherapist, that was my mainstream career for a long time. I have an online library. It is a completely free resource. Membership is free and always will be. In that library there's a whole section on bereavement, all the different stages, ages and stages of the grieving process. So do check that out, beautiful souls, if that is there and helpful to you, because we are seeing grief here. What we're also seeing, though, is a bit of a turning point going on here, a space of potential and an affirmation that's coming through really clearly. This card has a very clear message attached to it. What this card says is, because this is actually also about the loss of someone that this little pink man loved, and the affirmation here is that the relationship that he lost was someone came into his world for a period of time to teach him to love, and now that's done and he's ready to expand and move beyond the position that he currently is in. So beautiful, pile 2. What this card is telling me, it's I feel like it's giving me the lay of the land, more than not just what's happening in November, but more the lay of the land. I think this is probably around you already. I don't think this is an unexpected thing if this reading is resonating with you. Now, I think it is time for you to sort of be seen again, or start to talk. This communication smoke signals. For some of you, it could be really encouraging you to go and talk to somebody about how you feel. Let people know how you feel. People can't always, sometimes people will think you're fine. and that you're coping. And that's often the case, that we just crack on with normal life because we have to, but actually behind the scenes, you know, you end up dealing with normal life, getting on with life like you're an angel, and then behind the scenes, you're not really okay at all. And this is such an affirmation. This is saying to you, look, whoever you lost, person, animal, whether it's in passing over or whether it is in the ending of a relationship, they came into your world to gift you with a lesson. And now that bit's done. And it's time for them to move on, and also time for you to move on as well. I'm going to draw from the Akashic records, and then we're going to dive into more cards to see how your November is emerging. Do you know, this is so interesting, because this is the same card that came out for the Akashic records in pile 1. Excuse me. If you were drawn to pile 1 at all, then it may well be relevant to you because of this card. What this card actually states really clearly is that you have upheld, or you've had to face like some sort of karmic learning. And the karmic learning came actually, in your case, through this relationship, through the loss of this relationship. So whether it was learning to love or learning a lesson that this person brought into your world, whatever that lesson, this card tells us that you're stepping into that space now. You've done the learning. It's now time to move beyond this. White mantra, Mother protects. I feel you're in that space of transition. I'm curious, I would like more clarifying cards around the smoke actually here. Sometimes this just indicates purification, so it may be that you're needing to still process your grief and process this ending, and perhaps with the sweat lodge here as well, finding or understanding the spiritual perspective. There was a learning here for you. There was a period of growth. There was a karmic lesson here, that this person, they bought you a gift. Perhaps like the pink man, they taught you to love. But that was the purpose, not for them to remain in your life, but to teach you to love, or to teach you about what really matters in some way. Let's draw some tarot cards for you. I'm going to do some clarification around the smoke in a moment, but let's just draw your first tarot cards anyway. This is too many, but I'm going to take the one on the top, and actually that one too. Okay, let's look at these first. You have the Lovers. Okay. Then you have, look at this. You have the Lovers. I'm actually going to place this up here. This was someone you loved. This was someone you loved. You are being asked, my beautiful pile 2, invited to center yourself, to anchor yourself in the spiritual awareness of this ending. You know, the Four of Swords is really, you know, get still, meditate, see the bigger picture. That's not easy if you've lost someone you love. That is not easy. But it's time for them to fly, and for you to fly to a new beginning. This cord is cut now. If this is the ending of a relationship, it is over. There is a real acknowledgement of this, and obviously if it's a bereavement, you know that it's over. At least in this dimension anyway. So I'm going to draw some clarifying cards around the smoke. Is this purification? Are you needing to talk to someone? Is there something you need to say? I mean, the guilt as well. Most times in bereavement, the guilt is unnecessary. It's something we just put ourselves through. You know, we do it because we reminisce, we go back, we think about all the little things. We often go over and over all the little things that we think we could have done differently. I am feeling like if it's an end of a relationship and you do feel that even though it's come to a close, that something you could have done something differently, and genuinely maybe if, because you know, let's face it, we're human beings, we all make mistakes. If there is something you genuinely could have done differently, I think maybe you are being, there's a need to voice that perhaps. Yeah, we have the 10 of Wands. Gosh, there is a real heaviness here, isn't there, still around you? There's something around this ending that feels very heavy for you. It really does. Perhaps because it's recent, or things were left unsaid. Now, there'll be ways to handle this, beautiful souls. There really will. Yes, we have the Magician and we have the Daughter of Swords. Lovely. Right. There are definitely ways to handle this. I mean, the Magician is a card of, ultimately, of alchemy. I feel you can turn something around here, this heaviness, this burden. If we think about, because this feels quite a dark, I mean, it is visibly, this is a dark cloud, and this owl is owl see in the dark. The Daughter of Swords, her sword is pointing forwards. Aside from the fact that it's laid down, I think there's something to lay to rest here. Do you know, largely, most of all, I'm feeling like this is the biggest message for you, is to do with processing the experience, processing the grief, processing the heaviness, looking for the learning, looking for those sparkles of learning that come from difficult situations. Embracing those. You know, sometimes therapeutically, I feel like lots of therapy stuff is going to come into your session, but sometimes it can be really valuable to write a letter, what I would say, a letter not to send. You know, we can write a letter because we want to voice our feelings, we want to communicate, we need to let it out. Maybe it's not appropriate to send it to someone if it's a relationship that's firmly severed. But you can write a letter not to send, just to let out some of those feelings. If you are, and this is coming through very clearly, if you're wanting to communicate with someone on the other side, write them a letter and then obviously in a very safe place, burn it. Send it out in prayer. Send it to that person in prayer. I have a very strong feeling that that person, that animal, will listen. Write to them. Say thank you for the lesson that you learned. It's focusing on this, the learning, the joy, the light that they brought into your world, because I'm seeing a lot of light here. With the Lovers, with the Magician, with this Lamb. I think whoever you have lost, whoever has departed, animal or person, they brought so much light into your life. They were genuinely a gift. And so this is a huge loss to handle, a huge loss to handle. But I feel the karmic, they may even have come into your world to give you a karmic gift of learning something, perhaps learning how much light there is in the world. Maybe they were very much a guiding person for you with these geese. Geese know how to fly. They know the direction they're flying in. Maybe this person really was a guide for you. And indeed may still walk with you if they have passed over. But this has come to an end, that the cord has been cut. Maybe they came, I think, as part of their karmic pathway to assist you, but that journey together has now ended. Pile 2, I'm so sorry it's ended. I really feel how tough this is for you. It's a very, very big loss. There is no question of it. Now, this is the energy I feel that's around you, but let us look at how we are seeing November. What can we see emerging in November? Because we have fertility, completion of beginnings, attending to the details, writing that letter not to send, or writing that letter that is sent then in prayer. Let's Let's look at what we have. We have a new beginning. We have the Fool. And look how she holds an amethyst crystal. The amethyst crystal is a master healer. Okay. Yeah, November is a time of new beginnings for you. What I would say is you need to choose to take that journey, to take that step, to take that risk, to step back up. It's interesting, isn't it, that our Fool here is standing on a rock, and so is this beautiful warrior here on this rock. Now the Four of Pentacles is really saying, look, don't cling to this. Don't try and hold on to this, because it's not right. It has genuinely come to its end. The cord has been cut. Yeah, it's time for you to actively move forwards. Actively move forwards. Seven of Wands is an interesting card. We've got the Sun, which is super nice. Look at you sitting in a bubble. I'm going to draw clarifying cards around this, because I'm not sure what that's actually communicating to us. We have the Sun, so I'm seeing the light coming back into your world, or at least the light wanting to come back into your world. There's definitely the potential for you to make a decision and move forwards here. It needs to be your decision. That's what this is about. Yes, now I hear the message coming through here. You're the one that has to make the decision to move on. It's not other people. It's not a choice that is dictated by other people. You know, don't be pushed or prodded by other people. This needs to be your choice and yours alone here. You know, this is not a decision that anyone else can make for you. You can make a choice to have a new beginning. We have the Magician, the daughter here of Cups, Swords rather, my apologies, the Daughter of Swords. You can be clear about this. You can make that choice for yourself. There is the potential for the light to come back into your world. It's interesting, this card sits on its own, but I think this is literally a personal choice for you. It's not about what other people think or other people dictating what they think the process of grieving should be, or what they think the process of moving on should be, or whether they think you should try and rekindle something or maintain it if it's the ending of a relationship. This is absolutely your decision. But I will say, and you know, no reading is ever here to tell you what to do. You have personal free will and choice, my beautiful pile too, and I can see this has been so majorly heavy and difficult for you. If this is someone or a beautiful animal soul that has passed over, then there is no choice in terms of their actual departure, but you have a choice in terms of moving forwards and stepping back into the light and the life in celebration of whoever you lost. If this is the ending of a relationship and that person is still very much around, this is suggesting very, very clearly that it is absolutely over. And I'm so sorry, because it's quite hard to accept that if the person's still around and we'd really like to have maintained a connection with them. But it is a clear reading. No reading will ever tell you what to do, but Spirit seems to be offering very clear guidance that November is a time of new beginnings for you if you choose to embrace them. Literally a new direction, I would almost say. Maybe have more information about where this new direction could lead. Additional clarifying cards. Nine of Cups. Beautiful. Five of Cups and Four of Wands. Okay, now, excuse me, you are inevitably going to be within the process of grieving. Grieving comes in waves. And I feel that as we move our way back into life and edge our way forwards, with every step you take, we can launch ourselves out there and feel, just, do you know, I'm going to do it. And there we go. We launch ourselves out there. And then a wave of nostalgia comes over us. Going back to that grieving process, if you've lost somebody who's passed over, when we move back into life and we suddenly we go to something and we have a great time, and then it's really interesting, guilt kicks in. And it's like, oh, does that mean if I'm having a good time that I'm dishonouring this person, that I've forgotten them? And we feel guilty. It's a natural part of the grieving process. Actually, the really important shift here is to recognise that from a spiritual perspective, going out and being happy is celebrating the person you have lost. But it's a challenge. It's like if we go out and we celebrate a birthday, it reminds you of the fact that you're not going to celebrate birthdays with that person anymore. So there's always this sort of parallel as we move into the world of life again. Life, light, vibrancy, possibility. We re-enter, we will get waves of sadness, we will get waves of emotion. It's totally natural. And it's also the same, slightly differently, but nevertheless it's still there in a love relationship, you know, because or even a friendship, whatever you have, whatever you're missing. If somebody moved away, when we go out and we have a good time, their absence is noticeable. We remember that that they're not with us. We'd have liked to have done that with them. But you are wholeheartedly being encouraged, and November is potentially suggesting really that there is a lot of energy to assist you in taking those steps back into life. My beautiful pile 2. So this is your reading, and the Four of Wands is a card of celebration. It's, you know, go out and party. This is telling us that even though there will be, you'll make an effort and then feel a wave of emotion, you're going to be rewarded. This is the fruit-bearing rune, the completion of beginnings, the crossing of the T's, the dotting of the I's, the processing of something to arrive at a space of new fertility. There is definitely moves forwards that you can take if you so wish. You have the choice, and that is sitting with you, but the universe is honouring that process and that transition. Pile 2, I'm sending you the biggest hug in the world, and whatever this loss is about for you, because it's definitely all about loss and grief, whatever this is about, Spirit is genuinely suggesting that November is a time to process this and really move back into those new beginnings, that new sparkle, that new space of life and light, you know, away from something that's something of this process of grief that has been feeling very, very heavy and very burdened. You know, write that letter, talk to somebody, say that prayer, whatever it is for you. Pile 2, I'm sending you all the love in the world. I do a lot of different things. My all zodiac sign readings are available on a different platform. They're on Patreon. You're welcome to check those out if you wish. My library, most importantly, in case any of you wish to access it, I will put the link. I'll put links to anything and everything that I do, my books, my oracle cards, all sorts of things, into the description box for you, and also into a pinned comment. Do access anything and everything that may be of help to you. Pile 2, biggest hug ever to you, super souls, and I look forward to seeing you for another reading really soon. Pile 3, welcome to your reading. I am so intrigued by your card of the Sturgeon, Kano, the rune of openings, and the Tree of Life. Now this card speaks of sometimes going against the current, your individualism, being different, and it speaks of wisdom. And Kano is the rune of openings, a clear pathway to follow. The Tree of Life, again, I'm really hearing wisdom coming through. This is a ritual bowl, and it has a pointed bottom that is placed into the sand. It's earthed, it's anchored here. I'm really feeling that there is an opening for you in November, and I think it's going to take you down, I want to say, a pathway. You know, when you've just got to trust your intuition, even if it makes no sense to the mind. This is what's coming through here. Now, we must immediately draw more cards for you, but there is something very, striking, interesting, striking coming in your reading here. That energy of something arriving, literally like a bowl landing and then anchoring itself into the earth, a possibility, an opening. Well, we must find out more. I'm seeing that as your card, your first card. Beautiful pile 3. Oh my goodness me. This is, for me, this is like the lottery win of the tarot. It really is the 10 of Pentacles. That is what I always think of when I see this card. It's like the lottery win of the tarot. Gosh, there's an opening for you. It's very interesting because I feel like it's going to be either different to your usual, different to where you thought you were going, or different to your usual expectations, or, wow, let me draw more cards. I'm going to stop waffling and get on with your reading. But I'm feeling really excited for you. I see these two. Confusion and destiny. Oh, yes, this is stepping into a space of something that is very new to you. It's not what you thought you'd be doing. Now, I don't know whether this is your career or, I don't know, we'll draw more cards. But yes, this is one of those times when something may not make any logical sense. But it's your pathway, it's your destiny, it's your calling, it's what you're meant to do, or even who you're meant to be with. Right, more cards for my pile 3. May I be mega excited on your behalf, please, my beautiful souls. That is the card I'm seeing. Knowledge. How interesting. Let's draw another. She tames by laying down the staff and rope. I see this river widening. This is a scenario, beautiful souls, where I do actually think there is an opening coming to you, and you don't have to do anything to make it happen. I think it's arriving. She tames by laying down. The staff and rope is a card that suggests that you need to be responsive. It doesn't mean you won't need to do anything, but it's like the way will be shown. This is not an opening that you create, it's an opening that the universe gives you. And on some level, it will not make logical sense. In fact, your logical mind may attempt to work against you, okay? So be aware of this in November, pile 3. Be very aware. If your logical mind is working against you, do you know, I feel this is one of those things with this knowledge card where you'll just, you know, when you get that inner knowing and you can't resist it. The card of Sturgeon, listen to your soul. This is a time, this is going to be an opening where you need to listen to your soul, listen to your heart, listen to what feels right, even though it makes no sense whatsoever to do it. It's throwing logic out of the window, but everything in you is saying, do it. Destiny. Okay. That's your, I think, no, I'm not sure on that. Let's bring that back in. If it's right, it'll come back through to us. I'm going to draw from the Akashic Tarot. I'm actually seeing this card for you. One of Roses, commitment. Oh my goodness me. Wow, what is happening for you in November, pile 3? Something is coming into your world. That is a genuine opening. It has real... It's like you come home. It has every potential that you could possibly desire. And your reading is suggesting that regardless of every ounce of logical thinking that says this is not the right thing to do, that it is the right thing to do. That's what's showing up. Forgive my chuckling, but there's such a strong energy. I almost feel like your spirit team or spirit is sort of sitting here, your angels, having a little bit of a giggle. Well, you know, pile 3 are going to find this one a little tricky. You know, your mind is going to be trying to talk you out of it, but everything in you is going to say, but I really want this. It feels right. It's got that flavour. Let's draw some tarot cards for you. I'm loving this. I am absolutely loving it. Your energy for November is something of sort of magnitude. Yes. We will draw more cards. We'll get clarifying cards wherever we need them. My beautiful pile 3. Where are we going with this? I am actually seeing that card. What do we have here? So you have the 4 of Swords. Okay, you have the 7 of Wands. Oh, and then you have the Star. This is so interesting. Gosh, again, this really is standing up and going with what sings to your soul, what fires you up, what makes you feel alive and passionate, what gives you hope. It's like a guiding star. Either you will potentially become a guiding star for others, or indeed the opening is giving you a guiding star. It's taking you in a particular direction. With this 4 of Swords, now it could be an idea with this little central golden nugget in the third eye, that again, 6th sense. It's follow your intuition, follow what feels right, even though it makes no logical sense. That is everything in your reading that we're being shown here. Now, I feel like with this little lamb lying here, it may come in a very unexpected way, just when you were resting up, thinking that you're in a steady position, you're resting up, you're settling down into a rhythm, and along comes something and it knocks you for 6. But knocks you for 6 in a good way. Now this card of destiny is interesting, because the story of this card is that these 2 people came together, and because of the circumstances in past lives, they were unable to fulfill their love and be together. And they came back together and requested that they re-met in a new life, and they requested that they could have their love and have it fulfilled. And it was initially denied to them, but then they kind of, if I remember rightly, the story of this card is they then went to a higher power, or a higher council of power, and they were granted permission, and they came together. And it is that sort of living happily ever after card, and so is this. I'm not suggesting that this is necessarily for all of you, as it's a generic reading, it's a general reading, a relationship. If it is a relationship, it will be one that takes you into new territory, perhaps not your usual type even, but it will be that soul connection. It will be that dream come true. But if it's not relationship, whatever direction this opening is taking you in, whatever it is for you, it's your North Star. So it could be someone, it could be a new job, a career. We've got a contract here, a commitment. It could be almost a university placement for some of you. I mean, anything that involves a contract, a commitment, but relationship is a commitment too. Whatever this opening is, I really do think it will come sort of out of the blue. It's going to feel like, if it's around you already, I have a little inkling, but for some of you it's around you already. This pot is already anchored in the ground. There may be someone around you, if it's a relationship or even a job or a venture or an idea, but a part of you is logically saying, well, that'll never work out. That's not going to happen, or that would never come to fruition. That idea will never come to fruition, so there's no point in investing in it. The logic is saying don't do it, but actually your reading is saying take the unexpected opportunity. So for some of you, I think maybe there is something around you already, whatever it may be. It's putting you in this quite, I want to say, space between the worlds with these crows. Because it's that circumstance, that energy, you know, when we... Space between the worlds, that's what's coming through. When we know there is the promise of something, and we kind of want to go for it, but it doesn't look secure or stable enough for us to believe that we can really commit to it. And yet if you do commit to it, it's the lottery win of whatever it is you desire, the equivalent of. Whether that's relationship or anything else. You're being guided. This is like a North Star. This is really talking about commit to the opening that is making your heart sing, even though it feels uncertain, it doesn't make logical sense to you, but everything here is saying that's the way to go. Obviously you have free will and conscious choice. No reading is here to tell you what to do, but this is the message for November for you, pile 3. It really is. Now, I'm going to draw more cards, see whether we can be given more information about how this arrives, how you might move forwards, just any information for November for my beautiful pile 3s, please. May we have, I saw that card there coming through, and I'm seeing that one, the one on base I want to look at. Do you know, that one there, and let's look at the base of the pack. Yes, Ace of Wands. This is a significant beginning. Look at the shape of this different pack of cards, but just look, it's like this idea can become this. I feel this pulls these cards together, and yet you are really confused about what to do. Really confused. What else do we have here? Let's look at your cards. My beautiful pile 3. Oh my goodness me. So 4 of Pentacles. Oh, it's very hard to let go of something around you that feels secure, or something that feels like it's the way you thought it would be, or something familiar. There's something familiar that it's quite hard for you to let go of. Maybe it feels like you're launching into something that is financially unstable or unknown. It's more of an unknown than unstable. I think you have a sense of the potential. It really is. It's launching into something. And this card is actually saying, don't cling. There is a whole new world out there, but you have to choose to take it. Make a commitment. And we have the Hierophant. This is guided. This is guided. King of Wands. It's like this is, I feel like it's the answer to your prayers almost, to your dreams. But you've got to take it. Yeah, look at the Hermit. You're being guided. We have the Hermit, the King of Cups. You've got 2 kings here. Look at this. You have the Hermit, the King of Cups, and the 8 of Wands. This is a card of action. This opening is leading you out of a scenario where you felt potentially quite isolated, quite stuck, where maybe it feels like things are set in stone, they're never going to change. And yes, maybe I feel like it's coming at a time when you're possibly, because maybe you're feeling quite isolated, very uncertain, very confused about the future. This is an indication that this is absolutely the right way. Can you see we have these steps leading you ahead and these steps leading you up here? We have the King of Cups. I mean, he's so chilled, it's untrue. Beautiful, beautiful energy. 2 kings. This is a pathway to success. This is a new beginning with the Ace of Wands. destiny. This is fate. It is destiny. This is something, this opening is something you have prayed for and asked for, pile 3. You've prayed for this, you've asked for it, and it's being offered to you. But you're going to have a big wobble about it because it doesn't logically make sense. But it really is something that Spirit is suggesting you take action. Because it really is the beginning of something that will take you where you need to go to achieve. It's that sort of, whatever the lottery win would mean for you. And I don't mean a lottery win, but you know what I mean, whether it's the relationship of your dreams, the home of your dreams, the job of your dreams, or maybe all of these things. But yes, I also feel like maybe you have to slightly not fight for it, that's the wrong word. It's like sturgeon swim upstream. They step up, they swim upstream to ensure the continuity of future generations, a bit like salmon. I feel like it's something that's what I said at the beginning, it's like going against the grain. So maybe it's, for example, this is just a random example, okay, that I'm going to voice, but it's got this flavour. If, for example, let's say you have grown up, I remember working in my counselling practice years and years ago, and I have permission to share this story with you actually. It was a very interesting scenario where I was working with somebody who had in many ways, I won't say exactly had an easy life because it hadn't been easy, but basically this person had grown up working in the family business, so they'd never gone to university, they'd never stepped out of what I would call their comfort zone that would take them into a space of their own unique pathway. And they'd reached a point in life where I think they were feeling quite unfulfilled. So basically the gist of it was they'd stayed with something because it felt safe, it felt secure. I mean, this is the essence of their story that is relevant to your reading, whatever it means for you. They'd stayed with something because it felt safe and secure and stable, but it had reached a point where it had really past its sell-by date for them. It just was not working. It wasn't feeding their soul. And this person was in a real dilemma as to whether to hold on to the security or seize the moment and go against the grain. And the family didn't want this person to exit, but go against the grain and follow something, a dream that they had had. And actually they made the decision to leap and follow that dream. And it was very interesting, even though there was a lot of confusion and a lot of upheaval initially, they actually never looked back and have made what I would call a significant empire of their own, actually. And I have never forgotten it, because it was somebody who, some years after I had worked with them, got back in touch with me to kind of just to, you know, every now and then if you do the sort of work I do, somebody might send you a random card or a text or something just to say, by the way, just wanted to let you know. And you kind of want to crack the champagne on their behalf, because it wasn't necessarily an easy journey. But, you know, the most difficult bit was actually, it wasn't the journey, because once they got started, it just emerged and it moved fast. I mean, the Eight of Wands is it's one of the fastest energy cards in the tarot. It's like sailing off into the sunset, following your dreams. But yeah, it's the biggest challenge, and this person I know would reinforce this because we've had that discussion. The biggest difficulty was the actual moment of letting go and taking a leap into the unknown it was letting go of the security of something that was familiar. And that's the essence. So whatever this is, it's your destiny, it's your calling. It could even be something that you wanted to do in a past life but couldn't. If this is connected to your spiritual, your work, for example, your spiritual calling, but it would mean leaving the day job, the security of something. This is sort of suggesting that you couldn't fulfill that calling in a previous life, but you'll be able to do it now. Now, this is a pretty radical, strong energy in your reading, and none of us, no reading is ever here to tell you what to do. But your message is incredibly clear for November. There is an opening. I think for some of you, you may have an inkling of what this is. For others, I honestly swear it's just going to come out of the blue just when you least expected it. That spark of an idea, and then it's like, do I dare to go with it? I'm going to draw just a couple more cards for you, my pile 3. I sort of understand the confusion here. So it's a biggie, isn't it? It's a real biggie to leave something that feels stable and secure and launch into the new. May we have, let's ask very specifically, let's get clear about what we're asking for here. We're asking, this card is wanting to come through, so I'm going to take this first of all. This is suggesting you'll be guided, 6 of Swords, leaving something behind. You'll literally be navigated through the confusion. May we have a sneaky peek into the future here, or any other information, but let's ask for a sneaky peek into the future. Yeah, you're going to be guided. You'll be shown the signs. Watch for the signs. Look at the crows showing up in your reading here after this card of knowledge. Ah, what this is showing me is you have a knowledge base of something, but I do think you have some knowledge of this. Okay, now we have the Strength card. How interesting. I think for some of you, if it's a relationship, it's possible that you do know this person, but you're not quite sure how to move it forwards. Look for the signs. The way will be shown. You know, there's this card of knowledge, knowing. It's like you know what you want, but you don't go for it. Now, this almost brings another layer into your reading. It's almost like there is a dream and you know what that dream might be. The problem is you don't quite know how to take it forward, but there'll be an opening coming to you. There will be an opening shown to you, literally, as you are. It may even come at a time with the 4 of Swords here and the 6 of Swords. The opening might come at a time when you actually just think this isn't going to happen. Suddenly it's like something is illuminated for you and you suddenly realise, that's going to open. That's the doorway. That's the opening. So your reading is also pile 3, asking you to be conscious of signs, signals, synchronicities, and ask for assistance. These people in this story, they were told that they couldn't have what they wanted, the love that they wanted. So they went to a higher power, the Hierophant, the Hermit guiding you. They asked a higher power and they were shown exactly what they needed to do to navigate this transition. The Strength card, I'm seeing a transition here. Moving from that place of vulnerability to that place of strength, empowerment. And we have the Lamb showing up twice here. Have the courage of a lion and the humility and innocence of a lamb. My beautiful pile 3. Ask and the way will be shown. That is also a clear message coming through for you. Ask and the way will be shown. Rather than faltering or sitting in a space of this isn't going to happen, I don't know how to move this forwards. So I'm just going to try and sort of pull these different messages together for you, beautiful souls, before we conclude your reading. I think that some of you have an idea already and you know you want something, but you're maybe not quite sure how to get to the something or how to move from a place of stability, but slightly it's kind of stuckness. Relationship-wise, if some of you may even know of someone that you'd like to approach, but you're not sure how to do it, how to approach it, or you think it wouldn't work out. Now that will apply to some of you. For others, you're sitting in a situation where you are feeling pretty disillusioned with it. It's not really working for you, but the opening hasn't yet presented itself. Whatever your circumstances and your unique circumstances, and you need to take the messages here in the way that is unique to you. This is about seizing the moment when it's shown to you, but ask. Ask for guidance, ask for assistance. I think the way will be shown literally to you. You'll need to take action, but I think what's going to happen is when you do take action, you know how things just like fall into place when your energy is good. I don't know about you guys, but I can think of very specific examples when I've gone on a journey. I needed to go somewhere, and I set off, and I was maybe feeling, not in the greatest space, and somehow every traffic light turns to red. On the other hand, I've gone out on a day when I have been so buoyant and so positive, and every traffic light just turns to green. And I feel like the moment you make the commitment, however and whatever that means for you, the moment you make that commitment, it's like the energy lights switch on and the way will be shown. The biggest challenge is actually making that decision and that commitment in the first place. And that is what the reading here is showing you. Gosh, November is pivotal for you, pile 3. Keep me posted. Let us all know how you're doing as the month progresses. Pile 3, I'm sending you all the love in the world. Beautiful souls, if you're interested in my all zodiac sign readings, they are over on Patreon. Patreon is a site that works on donations, so there are no advertisements, and you can give as little or as much as you wish. It's a very even playing field over there, and you can also sign up and then sign out if you don't want to stay. And there are tutorials over there as well. I do a monthly tutorial learning to read the cards and the runes, so do check those out if that is something that you're interested in. I do a ton of other stuff, so I'll put all the relevant links to the books and the oracle cards and my monthly prize draw and all those things into the description box below, along with the timestamps and the cards, and I'll stick it all into a pinned comment as well for you. Beautiful pile 3. I think you are going to have a bit of a nail-biting November, but literally the moment you make the commitment, I honestly think it's just going to move forward so fast and it will fall into place seriously big time. I mean, this is like, it feels like a window of, an opportunity of a lifetime. Yeah, and you will be shown the way. Tons of love, beautiful souls. There's something of your destiny in this. It's amazing. Super souls. I am sending you all the love in the world. I'm just relishing your energy. I'll see you in some other readings really, really soon. Tons of love.